I cut tape into thin strips. It gives you a completely finished line. Printmaking is a logical medium for me because my work is graphic. I do think about the complexity of the image and whether it's appropriate for one graphic shop or another. I know that Ken can handle almost anything.
Here's our blackboard.
Oh, good. Yeah. Let me see, now how could I make little changes?
Well, we can scratch on this, and we can
Scratch?
add
Okay.
on this.
All right.
See, like this can be filled in,
Yeah,
you know. Roy seemed to think that the nudes would be very well suited to the line relief technique.
Is this still a little jagged or something?
Yeah, that looks pretty rough. Should we bring it back to?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
List printing does imitate a very expedient original artwork, and that's usually the starting point.
How about this, that bump in there? Do you want me to take care of the bump out?
Yeah,
And this,
yeah.
isn't that supposed to be kind of like a
Yeah,
curve?
yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Let me do it, and then you look at it again,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you can scrape away what you don't like.
You take a pretty girl, handsome man cartoon, and you get to think they're real people. When you blow it up, you see how unrealistic that is. It's got dots and it's got black lines, but also how little it takes to make it look like a nude you might even feel something for.
Roy came out of the university system knowing printmaking, knowing woodcut and etching and lithography, and had made prints prior to working with commercial printers. And then when he started to work with print publishers and fine art printmaking, he came with a considerable knowledge.
When you look at Picasso's lithograph series of the bull getting abstract, it looks like an art lesson. You don't need lessons, really, in how to make it unrealistic. I worked on these for a month or so before I came out, just sketching and getting a vague idea of what I was going to do, so that I, would have some preparation, so that I knew that it would actually come off. I didn't want to destroy the bull in doing it, that it had to, besides whatever else I was doing, it had to look like a bull. I'm just looking for efficient ways where the image will have the clarity that I want in it. The quality of finish, of color, of matte feeling. But the suggestions about how it can be printed are made by Ken, and many times it results in something that wouldn't have ordinarily. You know. The first project I did was the cathedrals and haystacks.
I realized that you could do a manufactured impressionistic painting. They don't have outlines because Monet didn't, you don't need it to distinguish the image.
These were prints that demanded great registration, making dots so they had nice, clean, round edges, and that they were all in symmetrical rows, and that they were evenly printed. No matter what technique that Roy employs in a print, his imagery remains very strong, very clear, and technique doesn't seem to move it or destroy it or alter it in any way.
I do like to redraw it at every stage, partly disregarding what was there.
When Roy paints, these paintings are not the same as the comic strips because the paint is thicker, it's stronger, it reads differently. This kind of honed-in look, pun on taking the comic strips, which is really bad printing, but then making those into exceptional kinds of printing is a joke.
I guess I like silly ideas, if you can make art out of them. But I think it may be the important, to me, irony isn't so much that I just took a junky image and brought it into a gallery. And the method is different. It arrives at the same image, but the whole purpose is different.
I think this is really my light blue as I remember, and this is really a light green.
Yeah.
But I'll get you the actual
But you see,
samples.
it really is light green, light blue in that.
Let me just check this light yellow. It's an excuse in a way to do almost anything, since the reflections can have almost any color and any kind of texture. It seems like an interesting way of giving me a lot of material to play with.
Do we want to mess with these a little bit?
That sort of nitpicking is Roy's style of working. He's got a certain level of performance that he expects every one of his works to go through. And he has the ability and tenacity to sit there and keep correcting.
The red seems a little bit light to me, although I like the red.
This is the fit with the silver, and we've trimmed twice now. He's one of the hardest working artists of all time. This man just works every day.
If left to my own devices, I do this 7 days a week. And I'm happy in my playpen.